Patreon.com/RealRamden, Patreon.com/RealRamden. If we hit 1,800 by the end of the year, when I'll make an hour-long video of the patron's choice. That's a promise, and we're so close. We're $150 away. Everybody go subscribe to Patreon.com/RealRamden. To the video. The other day I was scrolling through TikTok, as pariahs or modern-day equivalents of leper colony members do, and I stumbled upon an interesting video. Interesting as in thought-provoking, not interesting as in 45-year-old divorced man off of his mood stabilizers dancing to a Coi Leray song. You gotta clarify on TikTok. You never know if you're gonna get a PhD student talking about neutrinos or the most depressed Hyundai dealership manager writing a manifesto. The video I stumbled across was somebody complaining about a TikTok uploaded by the band Scarlet Foxes, a video in which two young men dressed like Mac DeMarco's pedal chain dance in a forest holding guitars. Oh, it's riveting. You may have seen one of these videos because the most popular one has 8.9 million likes, which in TikTok terms is like Gangnam Style levels of fame and fortune. Think of these men as Psy in Cardigans. But the video complaining about their videos was interesting because it kind of took the tone of, I don't like these videos because I don't like them, because I said so, because I'm a hater, because I find catharsis in expressing my dislike to other people. So I saw it and immediately I thought, what a miserable viewpoint to see a video of people having fun and to take that and turn it into an opportunity for you to broadcast your distaste for the world, your rotten disposition. I'm kidding. I totally agreed with. Pretty uncritically, too. I thought, yeah, that is annoying. I do hate that, in fact. That does suck. But then I started wondering, is that justifiable? You know, is that defensible? And why do I even feel this way? Could I make an argument for why this pointless, dejected hater attitude is not a net negative for the world? Might as well try. But first, a message from our sponsor. Now, full disclosure, this ad read was filmed for a completely different Row video that has nothing to do with this, but I don't want Scentbird to get mad at me, so I need all of you to go click the link in the description so I can remain a valuable marketing asset. Please click the link in the description. Please click the link in the description. Please click the please. You know what really helps flirting with people? How you smell. Which is why I'm so glad that Scentbird has sponsored this video. Scentbird is a brand that is reimagining everything about how people discover, shop for, purchase, and even experience fragrance. It's a place to begin or deepen your relationship with fragrances. Whether you're a newbie or a seasoned pro like myself, I've been smelling for a long time. I smell many things, so you could say I'm experienced. Scentbird lets you try a new designer fragrance every single month for only $17. Every month, you get to pick what you want to receive, so there are no surprises. They have perfumes and colognes and lots of options for any sex, including whatever the hell I am. Girl, maybe? I don't know. You put my gender into 20 questions or Akinator, they don't know what to tell you. Akinator had to go to his therapist after he met me. You get a 30-day supply with all these fragrances, and it's very good because if you just get like a sample, you can't really like daily test drive it, see if it smells good to the people around you. You don't want to wear a scent that like annoys your family or your friends. I know that because my natural scent annoys my family and friends because I usually spend most of my days in a sty or a large barn. You know, that's just where the YouTubers are given lodging by Susan Wojcicki at night. So they have a simple quiz that you can take to discover new scents, and based on your preferences, previous purchases, and answers, they'll help you find the fragrance you love. You know, Scentbird carries basically everything you can think of: Prada, Gucci, Versace, niche brands too. This month I got 3 scents, and my favorite one is Cherry Punk. I think there's just something about sweet, sort of fruitier scents. This has saffron, Sichuan pepper, violet, leather, all things that I, you know, commonly eat. Anyways, long story short, you can use my code for 55% off at Scentbird. It's just a little over $7 for your first month, and you can get started on your scent journey, and you'll be smelling great. And thank you, Scentbird, for sponsoring this video. Thanks, Scentbird. Sorry that this is on a completely different video than the one that I said it was going to be on, but consider the fact that I'm going to blow you a big, kind kiss. Mwah. Better get a catcher's mitt for that one because it is slathered in saliva. According to dictionary.com, first of all, no, it's not going to be one of those essays. Dictionary.com is just where I got this source, asshole. Okay, later I'm going to be citing Encyclopedia Britannica and Encyclopedia Brown. So, but according to dictionary.com, the first use of the term haters, at least the way we think of it today, showed up in Psycho Bet a Buck Down by Cypress Hill. You may recall Cypress Hill, the hip-hop group, for being the first and last time they'd let a white boy have a little steed. But the term hater was popularized by and for and within the hip-hop scene. You know, Tupac, Biggie, Taylor Swift's Shake It Off verse, Bo Burnham, Watsky, Snoop Dogg on California Girls. These are all of the hip-hop artists, and also Macklemore, and also Asher Roth, No other hip-hop artist, I don't think. The distinction in hip-hop for hater was between players and player haters. Players being cool people, haters being people that hated cool people because they're jealous of the cool people and their cool haircuts and chiseled physique. This is also why people hate on me, but I'm 250 pounds of pure muscle and I can lift a car without the adrenaline of being a mother whose child is trapped under it. AKA weak. I don't know where that came from. I'm hating on a fictional mother whose child is trapped under a car. That's crazy. That's a new level of hater, I think. Hater basically means the same thing nowadays, but recently on the net, I'm sorry, the net is short for the internet. It's kind of a new shorthand I've been using. Please add me on MSN Messenger and send me a LimeWire link to a zip bomb that I can use to destroy my mom's computer. Anywho, on the net, people have been wearing the term hater as a badge of honor recently. E.g., I dislike this thing, and that's good either because I have a good opinion and I'm cool, or that thing sucks and I can prove it. This is funny, of course, because hater was initially meant to be an insult, right? You're jealous of me, of what I have, of my success, so I'm gonna call you this name. But I think over time, with the saturation of the term, with it leaving hip-hop culture, it has lost its meaning a bit, right? So many lame people whose success is not admired have ranted about the haters time and time again. You know, saying the haters and trolls were the reason for your downfall is like talking about cancel culture nowadays. You know, like, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. And also, haters are kind of a necessary force these days, right? With the rise of insanely intense fan and stan culture, sometimes you need pushback, but sometimes I feel like fans and haters are pushing back and forth in just a pointless circle. Like maybe stans think that haters are way more relevant than they actually are, so that makes them defend and venerate artists even more. And the same thing just happens from haters to fans, and then it turns into a cyclical circle jerk. That was a redundant word usage. Please take me to the Council of Video Essayists so I can be tried for my crimes. Council of Video Essayists is just 9 British bread tubers in court dresses and powdered wigs hitting me with gavels until I make a 2-hour-long video about a Sega Saturn game that I've never heard of. Now, you've seen the title of this video. If I want to defend being a hater, I need to understand it. And I think the foremost purpose of being a hater is some sort of display of public criticism, right? Now, for the rest of the video, we aren't going to be talking about haters who attach good, thoughtful criticism. We're going to be talking about people who pridefully dislike something with little supplementary thought or reasoning. So hating as criticism is basically just a social force, right? It's trying to shame either something or someone into either stopping existing or stopping enjoying something that is existing. And shame is a very popular and cool social force. Shame has been used for many things. If you'll recall, Pontius Pilate quote retweeted Jesus onto the cross, where Jesus proceeded to private and eventually delete his account. So with all of the context of what a hater is and the type of hater that we're talking about, let's get back to the Scarlet Fox video. So what about these videos and these people making them might evoke a critical response? Also, if you think it's weird how I'm holding my arm, I'm leaning it on a lens that's right here. You thought I was weird. You're weird. You're weird. Nobody likes you. Stop it. Sorry. I don't know what that was. So back to the TikToks. Well, for one, these videos are kind of advertisements, not in the traditional sense, but in a new age social media sense. Scarlet Fox is a band with no music. Their bio says that music is coming soon, but until then, we can all assume that the videos they post are promotional content for a product, their music. And additionally, these videos contain none of their music. So sure, people dislike advertisements that don't feel like advertisements or that aren't forthright, but this is also a case of embracing the aesthetics of something with no context or substance. These guys are clearly trying to capture the feelings of the mid to late 20th century John Hughes quirky rocker duo fantasy, but all they are doing to cultivate that feeling is dressing in outfits, sliding, dancing, and having 80s haircuts. The video is the same every time. The music is nostalgia bait, the through line is non-existent, and the only appealing part of the videos is an amorphous vibe that relies primarily on whiteness and conventional attractiveness. But is that really fair? Right, sure, the videos wouldn't have blown up if they were people of color or not as conventionally teen heartthrob attractive, but they're not saying otherwise, they're just having fun. An essential part of talking about videos like this is acknowledging that TikTok for a younger generation is both a marketing platform and a playground, and the most precious commodity for these kids is a social one. For slightly older generations, when we were younger, we would change ourselves to fit in with other kids. We would adopt the aesthetics of art or pop culture to feel better about relating to other people. Think of MCR in the 7th grade, or before that, watching Disney Channel. That rocky part of childhood and adolescence where we are trying to define ourselves through the media we enjoyed or the pop culture we identified with, though, was an experience largely uninfluenced by a social media whose gravitational mass is as daunting as TikTok. So that social commodification commodification of ourselves we found in our youth is now also literal commodification. Influencing is a job. Being looked up to is a career path, and an aesthetic could be the difference between success and failure, inclusion and marginalization. When we see younger people doing these things, they're performing in a way that is probably very similar to how slightly older generations did. It's just that we had to wait until our school's annual talent shows to lip sync to the Beatles. These kids absolutely did not expect to blow up to this extent. 8.9 million likes is a staggering amount of attention, and of course they're doing something corny and kind of silly and dumb, so hate will come along with the love. So at this point you may expect me to say that hating is bad, actually, that I've duped you, and that this whole time being a hater, disliking something without reason, is an incontrovertible evil, and that we were silly to believe otherwise. But in spite of all of this, I don't think so. Hating is a verbal expression of dislike that cannot be traced back to a source, and that in itself is not super awful. Of course, if you dislike something and want to talk about it with other people, it is generally good to be able to engage critically with whatever you are speaking about and express your thoughts about it and what you like and dislike about it. But in rare cases that you are unable to express why you dislike something, that's not the end of the world. We do not need to pathologize dislike and unpack every piece of media we see. That isn't the point of existence. And if you think Steven Universe is lame or Succession is mid, that's okay. You don't need to be able to stand at a lectern and deliver an academic dissertation to like or dislike something. You're allowed to not be a fan. Now, that is not to say that that type of thought cannot be valuable. It absolutely can be, and much of the time it is. But on the internet these days, I feel that sometimes we expect a little bit too much from each other. Not everybody has to be Roger Ebert. Sometimes you can just be you and your feelings. But at the same time, sometimes you just have to be quiet and keep things to yourself. Recently, I learned that the hard way, and I lost a friendship because I couldn't not be a fake hater asshole. I was quite rude, and it was quite dumb, and I feel bad about it. I don't say this to atone for my actions or something, but I say this to maybe try and express the thought that criticism is not inherently neutral, and that hating, whether it be to strangers or to people you know, is not a victimless action. There can be real-life consequences for this type of lawless, pessimistic derision. Consequences that I've rightfully faced, socially at least. It is because of these experiences that, while speaking in defense of being a hater, I must also present a case for you not to be a hater, for you to be quiet and leave things you don't understand alone, because sometimes it's just not worth it. Pointless hating, to me, in my life, has been a somewhat corrosive, violent force. It accepts many things at once. The hater doesn't understand what they hate, but they still hate it. They refuse to investigate the context, they refuse to think deeper than their dislike, and because of this, they kind of just spray at whatever target they can hit. Hating is also a performative dislike, one that is usually only replicated because of a response or lack thereof. It wants to be noticed, or venerated, or imitated, recreated, praised. It's parasitic in nature. It can eat you from the inside out like it has eaten me, but in the end, the effect of the hater varies from person to person, from situation to situation, from land to land, from ocean to ocean, from sea to shining sea, America the beautiful. What am I talking about? In the end, though, in regards to a video like this, who gives a fuck? These kids aren't doing anything wrong, really, other than sliding on that damn bridge. They're gonna hurt themselves, but that's okay. Sometimes you're allowed to have fun, and sometimes you're allowed to blur the line between advertising for your band and goofing around and putting on an aesthetic. And sometimes you're allowed to dislike that. But I would encourage you to think critically about what you say and what you don't say and how you treat people. Because that's what's important. And you don't want to end up like me. Anywho, short video, ambiguous video, but one that I hope y'all enjoyed nonetheless. Thank you so much, Scentbird. Go click that link, please, for the love of everything, click that link. And also, go join my Patreon. Please! We're so close. We're so close. I know I'm probably going to put like a little thing at the beginning that says it, but like we're at like 1650 right now. If we hit 1800, I'll make that hour-long video, and I really want to. But we have to do it by the end of the year. And like last month we were really close, but then it renewed, and a bunch of people who only did it for 1 month got like kicked off. And so we're like $150 away. So go do that if you want to. Okay? Anywho, take care of yourself, take care of others, be kind to yourself and others, or hate! Or hate! Or hate. And as always, thank you for watching, and you're loved by somebody out there, if you want to be. I'm looking at myself in the monitor. Bye!